So chances are you've probably been shopping for a monitor, something that will enhance your camera with amazing features, has great image quality, and also probably won't break the bank. Well, I think I finally found the monitor that hits all those ticks, and it comes in at only $169. So I think it's a pretty good buy. What's good, creative fam? Brandon Washington here. And first of all, if you're brand new to the channel and you've never seen one of my videos before, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, because this channel is all about filmmaking gear, tips, and tutorials. And like I mentioned earlier, we are going to be looking at an amazing monitor. Now, before we jump into that monitor, I just wanted to do a quick little announcement that I know a lot of you guys have been asking me questions about this hoodie that I wear in quite a few of my videos. Well, actually, this hoodie is something that I personally have designed, and so for the first time ever, I'm going to be actually allowing you guys to purchase it if you'd like. Now, I'm doing a test run with this company called Teespring, and so if you guys are interested in picking up one of these hoodies, definitely click on the link down below to be able to pick one of these up. They're only going to be available through October 1st because I had to put like a window on it or whatever. Again, this is just kind of a test run. I don't know if I'm actually going to sell these after this, but if you are interested in picking up one of these and supporting the channel, I really appreciate it. So definitely be sure to check out the link down below. But without further ado, let's jump into this monitor. Now, this amazing monitor that actually the company FeelWorld has sent over to me is what they call their Master M5. Now, this is an amazing little monitor, and I've absolutely loved it since getting it when they sent it to me. Now, one of the first really cool things about this monitor is the size. It is a 5-inch monitor, and that is actually really good, especially if you're someone who shoots on a DSLR or mirrorless camera. A 5-inch monitor is kind of that perfect little sweet spot. It's small enough to go on top of your camera, but it's not too small to where you feel like you can't actually frame your videos properly. Now, starting with the actual build of this thing, you're gonna actually find two HDMI ports on here, an HDMI in and an HDMI out. You're gonna find your typical buttons like your power buttons, some control knobs, but then also you're gonna find two function buttons. Now, these two function buttons are amazing because you can actually map these out to be shortcuts to any two features that you want within the settings. And obviously, the one thing that you probably notice immediately is this really kind of cool half U bracket that this monitor sits on. Now, obviously, a lot of us know that this monitor bracket comes directly from the design of the Small HD. So it's kind of cool to see like something like that being brought over to a monitor at this price point, because it is something that's special, especially since it also has a nice little cold shoe mount on it that you can use at any point in time to attach things like lights or even a microphone. And last but certainly not least, on the outside of this thing, you will find a headphone jack. Now, the cool thing is this is HDMI. So what that means is it's not only gonna be sending over video, but it's also sending over audio. So if your camera doesn't have a headphone jack, well, now you can actually just use HDMI to send over all those signals and then plug your headphones directly into the monitor and be able to actually monitor your audio. As you guys can see here, paired with my M50, a nice little side grip, and the monitor, this makes for an amazing setup. It feels really good. It's really lightweight. And honestly, I love this setup. But what I love even more than the setup is all of the software they packed into this really tiny monitor. Now, this monitor has everything you would expect for a monitor to have. Things like peaking, overexposure controls. You also have false color, which I was really surprised to see in this monitor. False color is actually something that you typically see in more high-end monitors, but this thing actually has false color built right in, which I thought was really, really cool. A couple other things you expect to get, like framing guides, grids, but one that was really cool that I didn't expect to have in here as well is anamorphic support. So what this means is if you're using anamorphic lenses and your camera doesn't have the ability to de-squeeze that image so you can see what it's actually gonna look like when you edit it, well, this monitor has that built in, which is really cool. Now, I personally don't have any anamorphic lenses, but knowing that I have a monitor that will allow me to try that out and really use those anamorphic lenses and be able to see what I'm gonna get after I, do my post-production, definitely makes me want to rent one and test it out, especially for this monitor. Now, as great as this monitor is, there are a few drawbacks to this monitor. Now, the first one is one that I actually have a problem with, and this pretty much goes across the board for all FeelWorld monitors, because this is not the first FeelWorld monitor I've ever used. I actually own their 4K 6-inch version of their monitors, and that is their battery draining. Now, these use your typical Sony NP batteries. These batteries are amazing, one, because you can pretty much find them anywhere. They're also super inexpensive. But one thing that this monitor does is that even when the monitor is turned off, it is still drawing power, and you can tell that because it has a little red light that doesn't turn off. This is kind of a drawback because the issue is if you just turn off your monitor and you leave your battery plugged in, well, your battery is eventually gonna die. And so I do recommend taking your batteries out of the monitor when you're not using them. It's not a huge headache, but it is something to keep in mind. The other issue that I have with this thing is sort of the build quality. I mean, obviously it is a sub $200 monitor, so you're not gonna get something absolutely robust and amazing, but it is a little bit on the thinner, lighter, kind of flimsier plastic side. So one thing to keep in mind is that you are going to have to baby this thing a little bit. Now, the nice thing is that it does come with this awesome case that you can put it in when you're not using it to protect it. Definitely do that. This is not a monitor you're just gonna wanna throw in the bag and just hope that it's gonna be okay, because it won't take much to crack this screen. So definitely take good care of it. And the last con that I have is that even though this thing has this really cool kind of flipping screen, there is no software built in to allow the actual screen to flip the picture automatically. When you look at like the small HD, it has like some type of gyroscope inside or something in it that lets it know which way is up, so that way it can flip the screen accordingly. Now, a quick and easy fix to this is just map one of your function buttons to actually be your flip screen button, and then you can easily just flip it over. It's definitely not a deal breaker, but it is something I wanted to at least let you guys know about this monitor. But I easily fixed that problem by just having one of my function buttons be my flip screen button. You know, basically what it boils down to this monitor is I'm absolutely a fan of it. I think it is a great monitor, and I think it's a great addition to just about anybody who has a camera, especially if you have a very small camera and you're kind of worried about being able to frame your shots properly or being able to get proper exposure or proper focus. Having those additional software added, especially if you shoot Canon, because let's face it, Canon has not put a lot of that stuff in their cameras yet. You're gonna want to have this additional monitor, and I think this is a perfect monitor to add to your overall collection. Also, another great application for this is an awesome monitor for gimbal work. I know a lot of you guys who've been following me recently have either picked up a Crane or picked up a DJI Ronin S, and so if you are looking for an awesome monitor to go with your gimbal, so that way you can really frame your shots, especially if you're doing like underslung mode and things like that, this is a great monitor. Small, lightweight, easy to pack with you to work on some of your gimbal stuff. But there you have it, guys. Also, don't forget, if you are interested in picking up one of these sweaters, be sure to check out the link down below in the description, so that way you can order one before October 1st, because after that, I don't know if I'm going to be doing another run depending on how well this one does. But thank you guys again so much for checking out this video. Links to the monitor are also down in the description if you want to check it out on Amazon. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button, because this channel is all about filmmaking gear, tips, and tutorials. And Friday, I have a special video coming out just for you guys, and I think you guys are really gonna like it, so definitely stick around for that. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.